All right, we're about to check out some more videos that you guys sent in. Let's get it. So, I mean, personally, I wouldn't have been on that side of the tree. I would have been wrapped around the other side and I would have been doing my cut from the safe side. So that's kind of taking a chance, especially when you've got it rigged kind of parallel to your rigging point that high up on that branch. He's basically like right in the danger zone, and 100% that's going to come back and smoke the tree. So if that's your game plan, you got to at least be behind something. Anyway, I mean, like, he's got his lifeline up there, so he was able to kind of swig around. It looked like he sort of anticipated what was about to happen, but yeah, that's like not ideal. Oh, so his saw's stuck. Like, just leave it. Yeah, so he sticks around to try to save the saw, but just anytime your saw gets pinched like that, just let it go. Like, it's not worth dying or having both your legs broken or your head ripped off just to try to save maybe $1,000 saw. Your life is worth so much more than that, but that's pretty much what happens. Like, it looks like the root mass is so rotten on that left side that it just like pops off, and his saw is pinched. And it comes around. Oh, yeah, that's a bad one. Hence why when I show up at a job site, if I see that high tension is like anywhere near the tree that we got to do, I just say no. Like, we've got enough work that they're just not worth it. Just leave it to the hydro guys, because you see, like, there's just the branch tips that are touching there, and that power is just like running through. And imagine you're a climber and you're in that tree right now and it catches on fire like that, and you're done for. Just don't even take those jobs. But the hydro guys fail to come and do like the regular maintenance, because they've got to come around like every year and check all the stuff that's getting close to touching the lines and stuff, because with winds they can touch and then power can transfer over, and then stuff like this happens. But yeah, it's scary, man. You do not want to be in a tree once that's going down.
Go ahead, crank. Don't stop cranking. Here it comes, don't stop. Ooh. Ah. I'm good. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, it knocked me off my lanyard, but I'm good. I'm tied in. I'm good. Yeah, that hurt. Ah. Yeah, that was pretty good.
So, I mean, that's happened to the best of us. I would say me more like in my earlier years, and then that's why you don't do it again. When you're up in a tree and you're looking up at where your stuff is kind of like rigged, you should have somewhat of a concept of where that butt end is going to go, or the potential of like it swinging back towards you. You just got to like make sure you're in a better spot. Like, take the time to shift over, get into like a good little spot, even if like you've got to leave a little bit of a bigger hinge and then you got to kill the saw, and just get into a safe spot. Try to anticipate that happening. I know that there's times where you don't really have a choice. There's only really one spot that you can be in to make the cut. He's lucky. So anytime you've got a tree that already has like the majority of its weight going one side, like there's so much pressure already on that tree that's kind of arched over there, your saw is going to have to be sharper than that. I mean, you can tell right away that the guy's saw is like super dull. So if you're not quick enough to get to where you got like a bit of a smaller hinge, because there's just too much wood there in between his face cut and his back cut, it's gonna barber chair on you like that. You gotta be cutting a lot quicker, and your tools have to just be a little bit more maintained than that, because anytime you see a guy kind of doing a sawing motion with his saw, you know it's not a good sign. Okay, so he's just going to move the saw on the backside. So he's not 100% confident the tree is going to go where it wants. I mean, when you've got a buddy there that's filming you do that, you might as well just throw a little rope up in the tree and have him pull. Yeah, this is like another barber chair situation again. I mean, it's really hard to tell when you're looking at a video on a phone like this if there was maybe already, if the tree was cracked. But I think it really is just like the saw is just taking like too long to get back to where that hinge is, and like so much weight already going one way that you really do have to be cutting a little bit quicker to kind of avoid that. If the tree does have like a crack on one side, or if it's really bad and it's cracked on both sides, you really have to anticipate that barber chair, and you got to try to just get through those two cracks as fast as possible and then keep going so that the tree is on a hinge and you're kind of folding the tree over. But it's just like, you can tell that these saws that these guys are using, like the sound of them, you can tell like they're not cutting very well. So, I mean, they're doing what they can with what they got, but yeah, I mean, right off the bat, when you have that many people there, you know, they're like, how many guys are they on the rope there? Like 5, 6 guys. If you're that unsure that you're gonna need 5, 6 guys to try to pull the tree over, hook it to a come along or a winch or something. Oh, it looked like, it's so hard to tell in the videos, but it looked like his notch was like pretty high up. So if there was already weight going backside, the lower you're able to put your notch, kind of the more leverage that you're gonna have when you're pulling. But it looks like their rope wasn't very high and their notch was also high. So the distance between where that rope is and where the notch is being done, you're not gonna have enough leverage to pull. So the higher up your rope is away from where you're doing your cut, the way more leverage you're gonna have. Anytime you're trying to like pull something over one shot like that, you want to make sure that you leave yourself a nice fat hinge, especially if the wood's compromised at the bottom. The tree looks like it was fairly dead. Give you a little bit of time to maybe throw in some wedges or something like that, or kind of change the game plan, or even like just wrap the rope around a tree or something. And we call it a broche à foin operation. It's not looking too professional. So this guy's not on a ladder, but I mean, he's standing on a railing. Anytime you're doing any kind of tree work, you want to be cozy, you want to be safe, you got to try to foresee things like this happening. So I don't know how he managed to get that log tied like that. He's basically asking for it. Like, don't be standing on a railing with friggin' pole saw trying to, that's a pretty big piece too. So these dudes, man. So he's gonna try and take that whole top. At first I thought maybe he was just cutting the little branch, but he's actually going for that whole top. And oh my. So he's got it rigged up in the crane, but like up in like the top, like 15%. I don't know how they thought that was ever gonna hold. That's gotta be rigged down in some way bigger wood, but I mean, same point. Why are you trying to take off such big pieces like that? It's so dangerous. And it looks like he was like, yeah, it looks like his saw got pinched too, and then he couldn't pull his saw out because the saw goes flying after. That's just plain cutting corners. Like, go up and take it out and like maybe half the size, do it in 2 chunks. That's just massive, and these guys should know that that wasn't gonna hold. I mean, come on. The climber had to go up to set that lime up, so he should have known that that wood was too compromised to try to lower out a piece that size. That's wild, man. He let go of his saw, so that's what you're supposed to do. It's pinched, let go of it. It's on a leash. It's gonna pop off. It's gonna maybe give you like a good little jolt, but you're gonna get your saw back. Maybe your chain might pop off and you'll have to get a scrunch sent up to you and just put your chain back on, or you can lower your saw out to your ground mat and you can pop your chain back on for you. But the look back is classic. Ugh, yeah, like right off the bat. And it's probably gonna take this guy forever to make this cut. So we could like probably go for coffee right now, come back, and this guy will still be cutting. These pole saws, they're okay for limbing little branches, but you don't want to try to be like notching trees and stuff with them. And I don't know what the guy in the bucket's doing. It looks like is he using the bucket to try to push the tree over? Or he's gonna try to lower the top out from the bucket. Oh my. Speechless. That's definitely not certifiable or like regulated work right there at all. That's just very, very stupid. Oh, that tree looks bad. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, you could tell even just by the noise it was making and just like the way the wood was moving, you could tell that that's like a really unstable tree. Yeah, like the tops are just all, so you know there's like no structural integrity left whatsoever to that tree. So, and then just the weight of it just banging the other one rips it right off. Yeah, I mean, that's probably a situation where the climber couldn't safely climb past the point where he was at. But you don't want to be rocking and shaking the tree like that, kind of pushing it, because if it's that compromised, the more you're swaying it back and forth, the more it has a chance of breaking off its hinge and going the wrong way. Yeah, I mean, it's just me, but anytime I see anybody trying to pull a tree over with a strap, I just instantly, my brain tells me that they don't know what they're doing. So I'm not surprised this guy gets smoked with the tree. They have it notched going like that way, and and then they're pulling here, so they're pulling like against the notch too. He's lucky the tree was all pourri at the top there, because if that would have been some better wood, it wouldn't have just like broke like a shattered plate over his head.
Straight away from us, the opposite. That's the way it's gonna go. It's my prediction. My prediction
like you
is
said,
straight
like
that
Coop
way.
was saying, because he's cut it like that, it's just gonna slide out like that.
Yeah.
And fall down.
Yeah, and if that happens, this kid's gonna get hurt.
Oh, big time. Oh, like that. Oh! Holy shit!
You okay?
You all right?
Oh my God. So just a massive, massive top above this guy's head. He's not even past the halfway mark, and he's up in a ladder. So you know something bad's gonna happen here. It looks like he cut right through his hinge too. Like, it's hard to tell how much room he's got to work with, but he must have like an incredible amount of space if he thinks that that whole entire tree is gonna pop into something and not break anything. But there's no way he was pepperoni cutting that on purpose. Like a pepperoni cut is when you just do like a straight angled cut. So you don't even have a face cut and you don't have a back cut. You can do that maybe when you're really high up and you just have maybe like a little drop zone and you want to maybe do it with a small top or like a smaller branch or something like that. But like something like that, you can't do that. The whole thing's just going to come straight down and you're just going to get annihilated, and that's what happens. But that tree looks like it's just incredibly dead. So structurally speaking, the wood that he's cutting in is probably like all rotten and stuff like that. So even if he did do a proper cut, you still have to anticipate that because the tree's that compromised that it might not go well, but that's just way too big. I mean, come on.
Oh. Not mine.
It's hard like when you're not up close, right? You're so far away and you're trying to evaluate the video. So if you guys see anything different, let me know. I'm doing my best here trying to, oh my. So you got the high tension line there. Yeah, okay, the guy's not in the tree, he's working from a bucket. So at least if that happens and that top comes and rests on that power line and the power starts to transfer into the tree, at least you're not in the tree and you're not getting electrocuted. But same point, that was 100% happening. Like he notched it right towards the power line and felled it right on top. Oh man, that's so sketch. Like you don't want that piece coming over to touch you whatsoever in that bucket. The problem is that top doesn't weigh very much, so it might not necessarily jump the breaker or blow the transformer like further down. So the problem with that, because those lines are so strong, is that that top can just sit on that line and the power will just be just going rah, 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 like into the tree. This can't be a tree company. This has got to be a guy that probably just like rented a boom or a cherry picker or something like that and tried to do it himself. Otherwise fired.
If he's got that drive in good enough on the back, it's going to pinch on the front side now. He's literally standing under the tree, the direction it's going to fall. The only thing that'll save him is that tree next to it, because it's going to fall into it, and there it goes. Holy shit, it just landed on.
So all the weight's going backside. And then he runs directly into where he shouldn't be. Oh man, this is bad. So his notch is coming this side. He's got all the weight from the tree going on the opposite side. So unless you've got something helping that hinge to fold over the side you want it to come, there's no way in hell it's ever gonna come that way. And then why does he run? Why would you run there when all you have to do is just run over to the side? He's lucky to be alive. It doesn't take much. You get hit like square with one of those pieces coming down, man, you're done.
Arre viejo, todo bien, todo bien. Saludos.
I'm a big fan of going higher and taking out tops smaller rather than risking something like that, because that is like a massive piece to be trying to rig out, especially when you've got power lines right under you. That is like cutting corners 101. That's like, okay, I just want to try to get home as fast as possible, basically. There's guys that die every year here in Quebec. You know, I get notifications of it and it's sad, man. It's like, he gives a thumbs up too. He's just like completely oblivious. Like, you just touched the power line. You could be dead right now, frying in the tree, catching on fire. And he's like, yay.
This is ridiculous. There's no hinge. What's it all done by? You ready, man? Are you well ready?
Basically his, I guess like his hinge is closed on him. Like there's no more hinge there. So it's just his back cut like wasn't even, and then it just like sat there on him. It looks like it's a birch. It's like a nice healthy birch. You don't want that happening ever with a big top, because what happens is when that top comes over and your hinge closes, all that weight is pushing on that stem that you're in. So by the time it finally lets go, you're maybe like 2 feet back, and then it'll let go on you, and then that pull that you're in will just like recoil like crazy.
Oh, it's falling. Oh no, it's on their fit. Oh, it's falling. Oh no, it's on their fit.
Oh my. You've got to have an evac route already established, but that definitely caught him by surprise. Doesn't even look like he did a back cut. He's got his notch and there's no back cut, and then the tree just starts coming. So to his defense, I think he just was completely caught off guard.
I've never seen a gust like this. No, that's a good one. I wonder if it's got a spring.
Yeah, I mean, I have that happen to me in the spring often, especially with maples. That's a lot of water. So it's just like a massive cavity like at the top of the tree that's just been filling with rainwater. Holy. Ha, shocking. He's not cutting from the ladder, but ladders are accident magnets. It comes and takes out the ladder anyway. Yeah, anytime you're cutting like a wonky piece like that, expect it to jump and do some funky stuff once it hits the ground. Oh, just missed his head too. All right, so thanks a lot for sending those in. As always, they were super entertaining but painful to watch. But I think we learn something new every day, and we'll see you guys on the next one.
Well, I've been chasing the sun since I was 10 years old. Felt the heat rise on my skin, and I've been on the run from the dark and cold since I've been letting people in.